We have the regional breakdown for the very first regional in Egypt, in Cairo. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. This is amazing to see. We have our first regional ever out of Egypt and in Cairo. Now, if you guys don't know, they have a Yu-Gi-Oh community in Cairo. I get the chance to see a lot of their results. They're usually posted on social media out here, and they really love just sharing their stories with the community. And I think it's awesome that you can see more and more places out here that normally wouldn't have Yu-Gi-Oh expanding. I mean, you got regionals in Alaska now. All right, who thought that was going to happen? But that just proves how much of a phenomenon that Yu-Gi-Oh is. Now, for this regional, there was a lot of Blue Eyes present. Half, or almost half of your top cut, 3 of them were playing Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now, the funny thing about this is you got some Buster Lock in here as well. Got to hand him a little bit of credit out here. Taking the journey by surprise and being able to deploy that is really good. Now, we also have 2 Tenpai Dragons in here. I think I was most surprised about this, honestly. The fact that when you watch Tenpai smash through a format that's just kind of being opened up out here, I'm not surprised. And also, Tenpai does have a lot of budget aspects of things to actually help you set up. So that's also really cool. Now, we also had a Labyrinth in this event. Labyrinth actually reached out to me. This was the last list I needed to complete the top 8 for that. So, and actually, thanks to all of you that did share this info with me. It's awesome to see this community grow. We also have 1 Memento, and actually, kind of a surprise out here, we had a White Forest Fiendsmith deck actually showing up as well, which is really cool to see, as we know that deck's about to explode up with so many cool new things. It's actually going to be kind of scary to see what that deck's going to pull out here in the future. So let's pass on over to your deck list. Alright, so starting things off here, we have the power of Blue Eyes White Dragon. Only main decking 1 Veiler. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Going with the 2 nibs here on the tech choices. That's good. We also chose to play Baldrake instead of the Druid's Worm. I think this is fine. If you've got like a Maiden set up on the side, you can just go ahead and use the Baldrake as a form of interruption. That's also pretty good. Standard good cards, as you want to see, maximizing on wishes. Running out the deck about 41 cards is going to be fine. You don't want to really go too far and too crazy beyond that. Also, honestly, I do like the Phantasme down here. This is really cool. The fact that you can see Phantasme come up is actually kind of funny. But outside of that, I don't think there's anything too crazy to really talk about this list. You've got a lot of good standard options in here. Chaos Angel might stand out a little bit, but you've got options to make it. That's the cool thing that we like about this deck, right? Options. Ooh, we have Labyrinth for you. Holy crap, man, 26 trap cards. And we're packing in Lava Golems to go second. Okay, now that's actually pretty good. One thing that Labyrinth kind of experiences sometimes is it has issues trying to adapt and pick a different mode in order to play. If you're going second, you're just like, oh, this is awful. But being able to deploy those Lava Golems locks or messes up your opponent's strategy, so now you can go ahead and start setting up trap cards and do your thing. I see we're also playing the simultaneous equation cannons in here. I truly wish I understood how this card works, and that's why you're not going to see me playing Labyrinth anytime soon. Also see, we got the Terrors of the Overroots in here, and of course we are citing the Runic Disruption package down here. You do tend to see these show up every once in a while as, little disruptors to actually do the thing for you. It's also not like, can't see these nice little guys actually doing their job down here to help you out. So really cool, actually. Alright, hello Tenpai. So first of all, yeah, we are jamming in the Fiendsmith package in here. I don't think anybody's going to complain too much about that. You just need to have some extra monsters to put pressure on your opponent. You're also going to notice we are going with the Kashtira package in here as well. Unicorn and Fenrir here for the absolute forms of disruption. And then you've got your OTK gas line here just so that you can do your thing. In terms of, your dedication to the extra deck, it's what? These 3? You're not even going too far beyond what you would expect. And then, of course, spheres, and then just going to the Promethean line. That's really about it. I'm surprised that this duelist didn't consider, since we are playing the Kashtira stuff, the Dragossack into the Cherubini to go into the revive for the Promethean Princess line to try to OTK. Maybe that was just too much of a play in a nib, which sometimes it does feel like that, honestly. You don't want to be, going too hard on that. So, okay. But outside that, I mean, this list looks pretty cool. I like the fact you have these options to do what you need to do. All right. Next up here, we have Memento. The more I look at these Memento lists, the more that they all just continuously look the same. So we do not have a Goblin in this, which is fine. Well, I mean, by the extended Goblin package. I mean, you're still playing the Goblin Biker Grand Breakout with the interaction off of Mr. Goblin, but they also only chose to play one Memento Goblin. Okay. Now, this is probably the techiest thing that you're going to get off of this list. They were actually playing the Cranium Burst and the Fractured Ants, both in the main deck. Honestly, this does give you some good coverage. If you do want to go with this, you're just going to have to understand that if you do have some issues, well, you probably dead drew something. But I mean, if you get both of these set up, man, like imagine, like the stupid forms of interruption that you could do on your opponent. And I see we're also side decking Book of Eclipse down here as well. So this all looks fine, honestly. Next up, we have our White Forest pile. Now, like I said, this deck is going to undergo some really, really cool innovations soon. We're also only choosing to play one copy of the Ascent of the Azmina. That's probably going to change. We're probably going to upgrade it to with this. But you're also playing the Fiendsmith package in here to kind of be the glue to hold this deck together, which is not a bad thing whatsoever. It just proves that, the Fiendsmith stuff does its job in here. Of course, the Azmina Alfs, very good. Only one Deception, absolutely fine as well. Even with like the extended Dia Bellstar package that we have versus the OCG, going with the 2 Dia Bellstar I think is fine. Maximizing Unwanteds. Hello, Scarlight. Well, we got to have a card for time. Based on current time rolls, the game does have some issues, but that's why we have this guy, right? Also see we are side decking the Crossout and the Tack Talents, just some little stuff to tutor in off of this as well. So gotta love what Thrust actually does. So pretty standard good stuff here. Next up we have the Buster Blader Tenpai deck. Oh boy. So, you gotta love, first of all, Buster Blader is a fantastic card in some of these events. The more I look at what this stupid card is capable of doing, it just gets dumber. But also, you're using the Tenpai cards here, kind of as that little gas. So, your deck's doing two things, alright? You're pressuring your opponent with the Tenpai cards to clear out game. And if that's not doing it, you've got the Buster Lock here on the side to just force your opponent into trying to do something. Either way, if one of these two things does their job, you're either winning the game or you're going into massively controlling your opponent, and your opponent's going to have a really piss poor time recovering. And of course, I also see we are doing some small world stuff in here just to be able to bridge the gap and get some setup. Also, hello, Baldrakes. All right. They really, really, really wanted to have Baldrake as a 3 of in here just to make sure that you can have all that gas in order to keep going. Okay. I see you. Next up here, we have Blue Eyes, Buster Lock. Oh, come on, man. How many Buster Locks can you shove into all these other opportunities out here? So yeah, Buster Blader Lock doing its thing, but we're also doing Kaiser Seahorse plays in here as well. I mean, this is the free splash summon. We all know how good that this guy can actually be for when he needs to do his job. I also see Hello Wishes for Eyes of Blue. Gotta love what you're doing. Ever since I've seen 2 of this show up in a list, I'm kind of more heading towards the 2 of side of this because it just feels really, really good in terms of consistency. See, we're also side decking the Grand Tusk Dragon down here for the Spheres interaction. I also see that we do have the Skill Drain down here as well. Who doesn't love flipping Skill Drain? And basically just getting an auto win button against your opponent. It feels pretty shockingly good, actually, to get the chance to pull that off. Also, isn't he cute? Little terrorizer down here for the meta. All right, and then our last list out of this event was more Blue Eyes. Now, this list only chose to play the one Neo Kaiser. Also, out of all these Blue Eyes lists, you did notice none of them are playing Jet Dragon. I don't hate the idea of not having access to the Jet Dragon. It does kind of open up the door to, making things a little bit more consistent. You also do have one Drill Beam in here, which I think is fine. You've also got one Tack Talents. All of these options look pretty standard for this list. Also, only 2 Barrel, I think, is fine. You don't want to go... I guess that's fine. I don't hate that idea. Maybe they just didn't have access for the other, but Okay, also 2 copies of the Tyrant Dragon. Interesting. Alright, I see you. So what do you guys think about today's list? Please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Patrons! Thank you!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.